Here's why Michael Jordan haters are terrified of his 6-0 finals record. Okay, reactors, welcome back to the channel, the Nuclear Reactor, the reaction channel where all the reactions go nuclear. So we're going to be checking out a video today from Basketball Universe. Here's why Michael Jordan haters are terrified of his 6-0 finals record. I always hear people saying that the 6-0 finals record is a terrible argument. It's actually a great argument. To go 6-0 in the finals, to have 2 3-peats, and be the best player on your team all 6 times is an excellent argument. To get 6 MVPs, that's just part of a larger argument of Michael Jordan's total career being so absurdly dominant. It's hard to believe one player actually did all the stuff Jordan did and won all the stuff he won. So this video should be informative. It's probably going to say some things that I've actually said to people and debates about Jordan's GOAT case. As you know, I believe Michael Jordan is by far the GOAT. I don't believe anybody's close. It's a distant number 2, and I have Kareem at number 2. But before we get into this video, my reactors, make sure y'all comment down below. Make sure y'all like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification so y'all can be notified for every time I upload, and share my videos out far and wide so we can build this community and react together. Without further ado, let's check out this video by Basketball Universe, shall we?
They don't want you to bring it up. They claim it's a bad argument. They claim it's a deceiving stat.
No, it's not.
They say ridiculous things like it had more to do with the quote-unquote weak competition of the 90s
not even close.
Than with Jordan's greatness. They know it's the only way to make an argument for their favorite player.
Back then, they played real basketball. And yeah, those guys were super athletic like they are now. One thing I do want to say, by and large, guys are jumping higher now because there is an emphasis on getting your head above the rim now. So, guys are like pogo sticks now. Like, you see it more so with the professional dunkers. You see the videos, these guys are jumping, looking like Gerald Green out there, getting their heads above the rim. But guys back in Jordan era, even before, was absurdly athletic. I seen a picture of Wilt Chamberlain. It looked like he had his fucking torso over the rim. It was absurd. I seen Bill Russell jump over somebody before. Like, so this notion that these guys are bigger, stronger, and faster, they're actually a little bit shorter now and a little bit heavier. So that's a terrible argument. Jordan played against great competition that played strategic basketball. One thing I'm enjoying about the playoffs in the NBA now is that you have a few teams that do play strategic basketball, like OKC. They play pretty strategic. Denver Nuggets do. Indiana Pacers, they play pretty strategic. I thought the Cavaliers did too, but they did suffer a huge upset, which is, I'm shocked about that, but yeah.
They know it's the only way to make an argument for their favorite player to be ranked ahead of them. Don't be fooled. Deep down, they know the argument is unbeatable if you simply say that Michael Jordan is 6-0 in the finals. If they want context, if they want logical reasoning behind the 6-0 stat, all you have to do is state the following irrefutable points, and that will shut them down for good. The first thing that they'll surely say is that Robert Horry went 7-0 in the finals, and Bill Russell went 11-12 in the finals. Does that mean they're greater than Michael Jordan?
No.
The premise of that argument...
Robert Horry was a role player. Bill Russell wasn't the best player on his team every time they went to the finals. He just wasn't. So I mean, and I've seen some of LeBron fans celebrate the fact that LeBron went to the finals 10 times and 8 straight times, and scoff at Jordan winning the finals 6 times. LeBron didn't win all those finals. He lost 6 of them. So you can't celebrate getting to the finals as if it's a great accomplishment when somebody did it 6 times and never lost. Winning the finals is a better accomplishment than just going and losing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, come on.
Greater than Michael Jordan? The premise of that argument drives me crazy. We're talking about 2 completely different things. If all you're doing is counting rings and nothing else, then sure, I guess he got me there.
Right.
But that's far from what we're doing. Robert Horry was always just a role player.
Yeah, he was a role player.
In some cases, he was coming off the bench for some of those championship years. He was never the primary or secondary reason why his teams won.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to compare the 2. In Bill Russell's case, we can make the argument that there were at least 3 years where he wasn't the best player when the Celtics won the title. I would include his rookie season, the 1968 season, and the 1969 season. But we can't say the same for Jordan. He was always the best player for all the titles he won.
Yep.
Who else in the modern NBA can say the same?
Yep.
Not just that they always were the best player when they won, but for the number of times that he did it. Since the merger, there are 4 players who are in the GOAT conversation that won at least 5 titles. Those players are Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, and Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
However, none of them can see that they were the best player for each title they won.
Nope.
They all lost the Finals MVP to a...
Think about how absurd you have to be as a player to be in 6 finals, not lose any of them, and you are the best player, the undisputed best player. Come on, man. That is insane. Michael Jordan was absurd.
Title they won. They all lost the Finals MVP to a superior teammate. But what about LeBron James? He won 4 titles and was the best player in each of those seasons.
Right.
Here's the difference. He lost in the finals as many times as Jordan won it.
Right.
6 times. This is the foundation of this whole argument.
Yeah.
It's not just that he won 6 titles. There are players who won more than he did.
Yep.
It's what he did to ensure that he never lost.
That he never lost.
We're talking about the way he performed. This is where we can say that he is superior to everyone else.
Yep.
Let's start with this fact. There has been no one in the history of the game that's been relied on more by their team to win a title. We can prove this by one simple stat: usage rate.
Yep.
We're going to be looking at the highest usage rate for a single postseason by a player that won a title. Number 1 is Michael Jordan in the 1993 postseason. Number 2 is Michael Jordan in the 1992 postseason. Number 3, it's Michael Jordan in the 1998 postseason.
Yep.
Number 4, it's Hakeem Olajuwon in the 1995 postseason.
Yeah,
And at number 5, it's Michael Jordan in the 1997 postseason. He has 4 appearances in the top 5 alone. I want you to think...
Michael Jordan has something like, I'm going to get this wrong because I haven't read this in years, but he has something like, out of the 10 hardest finals runs, he has 5 teams in there. 5, Michael Jordan's up there 5 times out of the 10 hardest. And in the top 10 of the lowest scoring supporting cast, I think he also has 5. So this dude was winning he was making hard championship runs to the finals with some of the lowest scoring supporting cast. Come on, bruh. Jordan was absurd.
Appearances in the top 5 alone. I want you to think about how impressive this is. We're going to use LeBron James as an example. There was one time when he was utilized as much as Jordan was in the playoffs.
That's the 15.
And that was in 2015.
Yeah.
We can see right here,
Yeah.
it was just under his 1993 postseason.
He became really inefficient in that
The question
final
is, how did he perform?
Yeah.
He averaged 30.1 points,
Great stats.
11.3 rebounds, and 8.5 assists per game.
Great stats.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
In fact, they're great numbers. But take a look at his shooting percentage.
Yes, it was like 30
He averaged 41.7%
41.
from the field.
Yeah.
When he was asked to be utilized as much as Michael was, he turned into an inefficient gunner.
Yeah.
He couldn't take on this added workload while also being his normal, efficient self. But what about Michael Jordan? In the 1993 playoffs, he averaged 35.1 points on 47.5% shooting, 6.7 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. When he was asked to be utilized more than anybody else in playoff history, he went on to average the most points per game by any player in the postseason while winning the title. And yes, he was efficient. Instead of running out of gas in the finals, he went on to average the highest points per game in the final series, 41 points on 51% shooting. This guy's motor is just insane.
Unreal.
He did all this after leading his team to back-to-back titles. This was after he posted a 34.7 usage rate in the 1993 regular season, which is the highest usage rate by any player who won the title in the same year.
Wow.
I just gave you 4 unbreakable records that Jordan achieved in just one season.
One season.
And we still have 5 more to go. Let's start from the beginning, in 1991. What makes this one special is that he can say that he led his team to a historically dominant postseason.
Yeah.
The true greats of the game have been able to accomplish this,
Yeah.
and Michael is no exception. He led his team to a 15-2 playoff record.
Damn.
That is tied for the 4th best win percentage for the shot clock era.
Look at
They beat their opponents by an average margin of
Warriors.
11.7 points, which is the 5th highest mark ever. They accomplished this by beating Patrick Ewing and the Knicks, Charles Barkley and the 76ers, Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons,
All
and
those
Magic
teams was nice
Johnson
back
and the
then.
Lakers.
All of them.
If you think about it, they were 2 desperate 3-point field goals away from going undefeated in the playoffs.
Wow, Hersey Hawkins.
Hersey Hawkins and Sam Perkins stood in the way of immortality. Their 2 losses were both by 2 points. It was a real possibility that he could have gone undefeated in the playoffs.
Yep. Could have.
How many players in league history can say the same thing?
So, yeah.
Once he reached the finals, he made history from an individual standpoint. If you are someone who watches my videos, you know what stat I'm about to mention. But if you are new to the channel,
He could have went undefeated, but I'm not. I don't like hypotheticals. I think too many people use hypotheticals in an argument for a player when you could just use their actual career. You got to talk about what actually happened, not what hypothetically would happen. Hypotheticals didn't happen.
Stat I'm about to mention. But if you are new to the channel, you're going to be blown away by what I'm about to say. In the 1991 finals, he averaged 11.4 assists per game. That is the highest average by any player not named Magic Johnson.
That's crazy.
You heard that right.
Yes.
Think about all the legendary point guards that have reached the finals. None of them have surpassed that average in the biggest stage.
That's crazy.
But you know what Magic Johnson never did? Average over 31 points per game while shooting nearly 56% from the field. The numbers don't lie. In the finals, we have never, ever seen a better playmaker.
Never.
For a point of emphasis, we mentioned earlier that Jordan averaged the most points per game in the playoffs while winning the title. Do you know who's second on that list? It's Air Jordan once again.
Damn.
This came in the 1992 postseason when he averaged 34.5 points per game on 50% shooting. He also added 6.2 rebounds, 5.8 assists, and 2 steals per game.
Wow.
The fact that he holds the top 2 slots proves that he is a superior playoff performer over any player. The ultimate example of this came in the first round series against the Miami Heat. He averaged
Jordan don't even hoop like a regular person either. Like Jordan do stuff that you don't ever see anybody. Like he's rebounded with one hand. He's doing all this stuff with one hand. He does all these freaky layups. I'm in the process of compiling some of Jordan's most freaky moves, and I'm gonna make a video out of it and release it on my channel, because I've seen Jordan do so much stuff that I have never seen anyone do then or since. Like, the dude was an athletic freak. He just don't play basketball like a normal human being.
The first round series against the Miami Heat, he averaged the insane stat line of 45 points on 61% shooting.
Damn.
9.7 rebounds,
Yeah.
6.7 assists, 3 steals, and 1 block per game. This is only the third time that a player has averaged over 45 points in a playoff series. Now I know what you're thinking. Wasn't this done against the bottom feeder? The Heat were the 8th seed, and they won only 38 games. Shouldn't that take something away from him? Absolutely not.
A little bit.
Think about all the legendary players that were in the same situation.
Yeah.
Where they faced a subpar team in the first round
Yeah.
because they were the number 1 seed.
Yeah, you still stomp them
All
out.
of them could have taken the opportunity to assert their dominance against their opponent.
They did, but
To
it still
send
was
the
a bad
message
team.
that they're the best player in the world. In a few cases, they did that.
Yeah.
In others, they saw it as an opportunity to save their energy for the next round.
Yeah.
Jordan never had that mentality.
Yeah, Jordan
He was
didn't
always
think like that.
in kill mode.
Yup.
No matter who was on the floor, he was always going to give it his all. The vast majority don't have that same mentality.
Nah.
The few that did could never match the numbers that Jordan recorded.
MJ wanted to butcher you. He was just insane. You hear some of the legends say it, that Jordan wanted to embarrass you. That's all he wanted to do. He was just... I've never seen a player that had everything on 100. The only thing Jordan didn't have on 100 was like 3-point shooting, but that was on like 90. Like, in some seasons it was terrible. It wasn't a big part of his game, but when he decided that he really wanted to shoot threes, he was great at it. But he had everything. He had heart, athleticism, IQ, hustle, energy. He had everything. Everything you need to win, he just had it in spades. He was as close to a perfect basketball player that I think you can get. I don't know if you can get that close to a perfect basketball player ever.
Who that did could never match the numbers that Jordan recorded. This is another thing that separates him from everyone else.
Yeah.
It's one thing to have the right mindset, and it's another to have the skills to back it up. Michael's one of the few
Made these dudes
athletes
look like kids.
that had
Look
both,
at this.
so he shouldn't be penalized for making history
He chicken
against
rat
that
out of
team.
the air.
Let's be real here. If you had the opportunity to make your path to the finals easier, wouldn't you do it?
Michael
But to
Finley.
have that luxury, you have to play hard in the regular season to gain home court advantage.
Yep.
There are very few players that took the regular season as seriously as he did. That's why the Bulls had the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference for 5 of their 6 title seasons. But on 2 of those occasions, they made history. In 1996, they won the most games in the regular season and playoffs combined.
Then
So when you
97,
say
they won
MJ went
69.
6-0, make sure to include that he was the leader of the winningest team in NBA history.
History, yup.
And guess who has the second best combined record? It's the 1997 Chicago Bulls.
Oh, wow.
They went 84-19. It isn't just that he had 2 separate three-peat runs. As much as they want to dismiss that, it's the fact that the second three-peat is the most dominant 3-year stretch in league history.
It is.
But that doesn't mean it was a cakewalk. They experienced
yeah,
some close calls
this
that
was a
put their
great
title
series.
hopes in jeopardy.
Yes.
This is where they asked the greatest clutch player to bail them out.
That 98 series
In this
against the
video that I
Pacers,
made,
against
we
the
discuss
Pacers
in detail
was
that his
legendary.
1997 Finals performance is the most clutch series from any player. 1997. In this video that I made, we discuss in detail that his 1997 Finals performance is the most clutch series from any player. He had his hands on 3 game winners.
What?
Try to find a player that's had more than 1 in the finals. While you're looking that up, you can then try to find me the number of top 75 players that have made a title clinching shot. The only one is Michael Jordan.
Wow.
If it wasn't for his supreme clutch abilities, maybe he would have gone 4-2 in the finals instead of 6-0. But he made sure that wouldn't happen. So when we say he's 6-0, we're also implying.
Oh shit, in 97 he did have his hand on 3 game winners. In game 1 he hit the game winner. In the flu game he pretty much hit the game winner in that one. And then in game 6 he passed the ball to Steve Kerr to hit the game winner. I never even thought about that before. That's fucking crazy.
So when we say he's 6-0, we're also implying that he's the greatest clutch performer in playoff history. But wait, you haven't even touched Jordan's playoff competition. I wonder why. Are you scared to touch that topic, Mr. Basketball Universe? Let me direct you to this video where I did a deep dive into Jordan's playoff competition versus LeBron's. This will tell you everything you need to know about that ridiculous argument.
Yeah.
Now here's the most important point. When we say he's 6-0, we're not just counting his rings. What it really means is that no one has ever performed better on the biggest stage. That is why he never lost in the finals.
Yep.
For Michael Jordan haters, that just might be their worst nightmare. That's all I know. But now it's time for you all to weigh in. What do you think was the biggest reason why he went 6-0 in the finals? What would you say to someone who dismisses that stat? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I mean, he touched on some of it, but there's so much more to Jordan's GOAT case. Like, he is beyond by far the GOAT. But yeah, I mean, I didn't even think about the 97 thing about the 3-game that had his hands in 3-game winners in the 97 finals. But yeah, I mean, after winning 72 games, you come back and win 69 games. And they didn't win 70 because they lost the last 2 games of the season. Michael Jordan's the GOAT. Like, it's insane. Matter of fact, there's this video on YouTube. It's called The Complete Statistical Breakdown Between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. It was done in 2018. And it's absurd how many things Jordan was number 1 in. He was number 1 in like 32 different things. He's not number 1 in some of them now. LeBron James surpassed him in most 30-point games in the regular season. And Joker surpassed him in highest PER, number 1 in being PER in history in the regular season. And he surpassed him in like 2 more analytical stats. So he's still like number 1 in like 27 to 28 things. And then if y'all watch that video, read the last caption when they sum up Jordan's GOAT case. It's absurd how much stuff this dude did in a 15-year career. And also remember, his 15-year career, 2 of those seasons, he only played 18 games one season and 17 games one season. So we're talking about 13 seasons, 12 and a half, because with the Wizards the first year, he got hurt in the middle of the season. So 12 and a half seasons, 6 championships. And let's just not take those out. 15 seasons, 6 championships. Let's just go with the Bulls. 13 seasons with the Bulls, 6 championships. Let's talk about full seasons with the Bulls. 11 full seasons with the Bulls. Full seasons. 6 championships and 11 full seasons with the Bulls. When Jordan retired from the Bulls, he was averaging 31.5 points per game on 51% shooting. Like, the dude was insane. Also, for a shooting guard to average 5 rebounds and 5 assists, that's elite for a shooting guard. Jordan ended his career averaging 6 rebounds and 5 assists. So he averaged 36, 5, 2.3 steals, and almost 1 block per game. He was the best all-around player that ever touched the NBA floor. It's insane. But anyway, my reactors, let me know what y'all think down below about Michael Jordan's career and his GOAT case. And who is your GOAT? It could be somebody else. Everybody has their personal preference, who they think is their GOAT. And tell me why that's your GOAT. I'll see y'all down in the comment section. But, my reactors, that's the video for today. As always, the pleasure is mine. reaction. Well, that's yours. I love you guys. Peace.